We all know what stress feels like, right? But have you ever wondered what's actually happening when that feeling of being totally overwhelmed stops being just in your head and starts showing up in your body? Well, today, we're going to take a journey inside to see exactly how chronic stress can become a real health problem and, more importantly, what we can do about it.
You know that feeling? Like your internal engine is just stuck in high gear? You're not in danger, you're not running from anything, but there's this constant hum of alertness, and you can never, ever fully switch off. That feeling, that's at the very heart of what we're talking about today. It's when your body's emergency system completely forgets where the off switch is.
And this quote right here, it just nails the problem. Think about it. Our bodies evolved for these short, intense bursts of stress, like, escaping a predator. But our modern life, it's not a sprint. It's a never-ending marathon of deadlines, notifications, and worries that our ancient biology just wasn't built to handle. All right, so to really get what's going wrong, we've got to start with how this incredible alarm system inside us is supposed to work when everything is going right.
Okay, so think of it like a chain of command, a four-step process. It all starts in your brain's command center, the hypothalamus. It senses a threat and sends a signal down to the pituitary gland. The pituitary then basically barks an order at your adrenal glands, telling them to release the main stress hormone, cortisol. And all at the same time, an even faster system is dumping adrenaline into your bloodstream for that instant fight-or-flight kick. And you know what? For a short burst, this whole system is a lifesaver. It's brilliant. It floods you with energy, pumps blood to your muscles, gets your immune system ready in case you get hurt, and even turns down your sensitivity to pain. It's a perfect survival mechanism. But what happens when that sprint turns into a marathon? When the threat isn't a lion, but an inbox that never empties? Let's take a tour of the body and see what happens when that alarm gets stuck in the on position. This is the big one, inflammation. Chronic stress is like having a low-grade fire smoldering inside your body, day in and day out. It keeps your immune system on constant high alert, and over time, that chronic inflammation is tied to pretty much every major disease we face, from heart disease to diabetes. And this is where it gets kind of wild, this paradox with your immune system. A quick hit of stress, it actually boosts your defenses, like getting soldiers ready for battle. But that long-term grinding stress, it does the exact opposite. It wears down your defenses, which is why you're more likely to catch every cold that goes around and why cuts seem to take forever to heal when you're stressed out. Okay, next up, your metabolism. That constant drip of cortisol keeps your blood sugar high, which seriously ups your risk for diabetes. It also tells your body to store the most dangerous kind of fat, visceral fat, deep around your organs. And it totally messes with your hunger hormones. So that stress eating, that craving for comfort food, it's not a lack of willpower. It's your biology, literally screaming for high-calorie fuel. And what about pain? If you've ever dealt with chronic pain, you know this connection is real. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Stress doesn't just make you feel worse about the pain, it physically grabs the volume knob on your pain system and cranks it all the way up. And here's how it works. It's incredible. Stress and pain literally use the same wiring in your brain and speak the same chemical language. So over time, chronic stress makes your entire nervous system hypersensitive. It's a thing called central sensitization, and it basically means your brain's pain volume gets stuck on loud. So what's one of the biggest, most relentless drivers of this alarm state in our world today? Well, it's probably in your pocket or sitting on your desk right now. Let's talk about our modern-day saboteur. 2 hours. In fact, for many of us, it's way more than 2 hours a day that we spend scrolling through a constant, unrelenting stream of digital threat signals. We're talking about everything from crisis news to angry social media feeds. And here is the science behind why that's so bad for us. Your ancient brain can't tell the difference between a threat on a screen and a tiger in the bushes. It hits the same cortisol and adrenaline panic button. You also literally catch the anxiety of others online through something called emotional contagion. And to top it all off, it destroys the quality of your sleep, which is the one time your body is supposed to reset this whole system. Okay, I know that was a lot of pretty grim news, but here's where we pivot. Because the most amazing thing about your stress system is that it's designed to adapt. We have incredibly powerful, scientifically backed tools to help it reset, recover, and become more resilient. Let's get into the solutions. First on the list, exercise. But I want you to think about it a little differently. It's not just about burning off stress. It's more like a stress inoculation. You're giving your body a small, manageable dose of stress, and that trains your system to get better at turning on and, this is the crucial part, turning back off again. Plus, your muscles release these amazing little anti-inflammatory proteins called myokines. It's a win-win.
All right, next up is mindfulness. Now, this is not about emptying your mind or getting rid of all stress. That's not the goal. It's about training your brain to notice when it's stuck in that looping cycle of worry, replaying stressful events over and over. Mindfulness gives you the power to step out of that loop and calm those alarm bells. Beyond that, there are actual skills you can learn. Things like challenging those worst-case scenario thoughts, or using simple paced breathing, like breathing in for 4 seconds and out for 6, which directly activates your body's relaxation system. And even just breaking down a huge, overwhelming problem into tiny, manageable steps. It's all about regaining a sense of control. So, we have all these amazing tools. How do we pull it all together into a real practical plan? Let's build our blueprint for resilience.
Now, this is absolutely key. None of those other strategies work well if you don't have a solid foundation. And that foundation is built on the basics: getting enough quality sleep, eating mostly whole foods, having real, genuine connections with other people, and setting some firm boundaries with all that digital media. And this table right here, this is your roadmap. It puts the whole story together. You can see each intervention, you can see the science of why it works on your body, and you can see the real-world results you can actually expect. It's the whole game plan, all in one place. So let's be really clear about the goal here. A life without any stress is not only impossible, it's not even what we want. The real goal is to build a more resilient system, one that can take on life's challenges, learn from them, and then, most importantly, return to a state of calm and recovery efficiently. And I really want to leave you with this idea. It can feel like we're just victims of our own stress response, right? But the science is so clear on this. We have a powerful, incredible capacity to influence it, to retrain it, and to change it. We are not powerless here. Which really brings us to the final and maybe the only question that matters. Your biology is wired to adapt. It's ready to change. So after all of this, what's your first small step gonna be? What's one thing you can do today to start building your more resilient system?